Our time is valuable. Gaming takes up much of it, and it's not cheap. Many games are 40-hour epics, but some are short and sweet. Here at 3 Dads and a Console, we'll let you know if a game is worth your time by seeing if it grabs us in the first hour. You might already be saying that some games take time to get good. Well, as a gaming dad, I don't have time, and I need a game to grab me right away if I'm going to invest hours of my time to play. In this video, I'm going to talk about precisely that. What I thought about the game in the first hour of playing it, and if I think I'll play it more, or if you should buy it. If you could drop us a like and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it, as it helps us bring you more content like this. I never played the first Helldivers game, so I won't compare it to the previous release. I was excited to jump into it from everything I saw from the game before launch. I think this is the first PlayStation published game to drop on PC and console at launch. I looked it up, couldn't find anything to say it isn't, so I'm gonna go with that, but you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Helldivers 2 is the first of many PlayStation published live service games that we will see in the upcoming year. When PlayStation announced the plan for more live service games, I was in the camp of, this isn't gonna work. I used to think I wasn't a fan of live service games at all, but in the end, I found I wasn't a fan of pay to win. And good news is that Helldivers 2 isn't pay to win. Helldivers 2's launch has already been a success, with it becoming the highest concurrent PlayStation published game on Steam, with at its peak of 155,000 players. Could even be higher right now. That is more than double what the previous record holder, God of War, did on its release. Does this mean PlayStation will release their games day and date on PC and console moving forward? I don't think so, but we might see their live service games do this. It allows for a larger player base to play the game, and frankly, I've had zero issues finding people to play with right now. Being in third person also doesn't give mouse and keyboard users an advantage over console users like most first-person shooters do. When you boot up the game, you're met with a highly comical intro video that sets the stage for what to expect from Helldivers 2 regarding story or the game taking itself too seriously.
Prosperity. Liberty.
Hi there.
Democracy. Our way of life.
Oh, hello.
But freedom doesn't come free.
No! Sweet liberty! No! Look familiar? Scenes like these are happening all over the galaxy right now. You could be next. That is, unless you make the most important decision of your life. Prove to yourself that you have the strength and the courage to be free. Join!
It felt like a scene straight out of Starship Troopers, and I'm here for it to save democracy. The story is about killing bugs and robots to save democracy and have fun doing it. There isn't much more to it, but I think that is helping the game because you can jump right into the mission solo or with friends, right into blowing up bugs or accidentally your teammates. They start you on your ship and you see a couple characters to interact with. They genuinely add nothing to the game, but have a prompt to talk to them. You will see a couple of computers you can interact with, but nothing too confusing. Everything is very simplistic inside your ship because the game is more about the gameplay than anything else. You can change your loadout at the computer, rename your ship, check out the battle pass, and the items you could purchase for real currency. I wouldn't say you have to though, as you can play the game to unlock most items. I'm not too sure how much time that would take, but I didn't feel like I had a huge disadvantage when I started playing the game because of what weapons or armor I had. I want to say that PlayStation Canada provided me a code for this game and I was given the Super Citizen edition of the game. The Twitch Drop armor you can get is already better than the armor you get from the Super Citizen edition, and the Twitch Drop is free. Besides giving me access to the Stratagem Hero Ship game, the Super Citizen edition pretty much gives me fast track to the Strapping the Lad trophy, which is customize your Helldiver with a new cape, armor, and helmet. From there, you can walk over the giant world map, select a mission, and drop yourself into action. You can play solo with friends or with a bunch of random people. After playing for a while, I would choose anything over playing solo. Playing solo in Helldivers 2 just isn't fun, because I truly feel the pure enjoyment of this game comes from playing with others. The combat is satisfying, as there's many bugs to kill at any given time. Also, there's more bugs depending on your chosen difficulty level. Hordes of bugs can come at you if you aren't careful when playing with others. Remember that friendly fire hurts. You can even land your pod on enemies and your teammates, not purposely. Using various weapons available, it's fun to blow up bugs on the screen as their carcasses even get in the way and can shield other enemies from getting hit. There is a large variety of enemies to kill within the first hour. There are more challenging enemies, like robots, but I never encountered them as I tried to save democracy initially. Besides the various guns in your armory, you have to stratagems to use and you can help you a lot when trying to vanquish bugs. Some are unlocks you level up in the game, and some you must purchase using items collected from finishing missions or found during the mission. You start the game with an orbital precision strike, which you can use to take out many enemies at once. You can unlock many types of stratagems as you progress in the game to help you and your teammates complete your missions. I would say shotguns, sidearms, and SMGs work best against the bugs earlier in the game, but you must change your loadouts for the enemies types that you face each mission. If I have a gripe for early in the game, your soldier doesn't move too fast and has no jump button. You can dive to evade from enemies, but when you get overrun, you truly can only shoot your way out of things. You can unlock a jetpack at level 8, which helps immensely for traversal. At first, the lack of speed and jump was an issue for me, but as I played, I didn't notice any difference anymore. Dying became almost part of the fun of the game.
Oh God! We're gonna die! Don't you understand? We're all gonna die!
Your teammates can request you to launch back in, and when you return, try and land your pod on top of enemies and watch them explode. When you die, you'll lose your resources you collected, but if your teammate don't pick them up when you die, you can pick them up again when you return. The true magic of Helldivers 2, and the reason I think it's so popular with gamers right now, is having fun with friends. It's not a full price game, so the barrier to entry is a lot easier to deal with, and it's fun blowing things up. When I first realized you can be killed with friendly fire, I thought that this would annoy me, and yet I'm finding some of the funniest moments is when you accidentally kill your own teammates. The load times are all but non-existent on console, so coming back into the game takes a couple of seconds for your squad mates to extract you back in. Loading into the game when you want to start is seamless and feels very quick, even when doing a quick match. I've heard some people have had issues with it not connecting, but I haven't had any to speak of. I have been booted out of games, but I think that's more based on my skill level and not server issues. At the start of the video, my goal was to give you impressions of playing the game for a little over an hour and let you know if it hooked me to play it more. I looked at my game clock and I have logged roughly 6 hours of this game, and I'm having a blast doing so. I haven't played this much with friends online since the early Call of Duty days. It doesn't have the loot drops that have some crave, but I don't think Helldivers 2 needs it. It's a PvE live service game that is a lot of fun, and a lot can be said about the fun factor. I would say that a lot of my enjoyment of the game has been playing with friends, but I have made even some playing with random players.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.
I don't feel like I'm being bombarded with microtransactions, and the core of the game is blowing things up. If you're looking for a good time that isn't an expensive barrier entry, I'd highly recommend Helldivers 2 to anyone out there. It respects your wallet and your time, and that's important nowadays. If you like the video or the game, please consider dropping a like or subscribe, and thank you for watching. This has been Court Lalonde giving you my impressions of Helldivers 2.